Good morning. It's my pleasure to call this meeting of the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to order. Today is January 16, 2019. Happy New Year, everyone. It's 9:30 in the morning. With me today are Commissioner Emily Lindley, and I'm very pleased to welcome our new General Counsel, Ms. Mary Smith. Good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm John Neerman, and we have two commissioners, so we have a quorum. And so I'll ask Ms. Smith to begin the proceedings.
Item number 1 is an application by Kansas City Southern Railway Company for a new air quality permit number 124775. The parties have been notified that the commissioners will not take oral argument but may ask questions. Several parties have signed up to speak, have signed up and are available to answer questions if the commission has any.
Thank you. Commissioner Lindley, as I look at this matter, we have two requests for a contested case hearing, one by Mr. Kelly and one by his company, Community in Power Development Association. And it's my view that neither Mr. Kelly nor the association established themselves as affected persons. The air dispersion modeling for this minor source permit shows that there's no adverse effects to off-property receptors, and given Mr. Kelly's residence's distance from the proposed facility, I don't see how he's impacted in any way different from the general public. And so he's, in my view, he would not be an affected person, and because the association has not identified a person who has an individual member who has standing in his or her own right, the association cannot be an affected person either. And so I would deny the request and go ahead and issue the permit.
I'm in agreement. I just was going to ask staff one question.
Sure.
Just curious if y'all could walk me through kind of the timeline of this one, since the application came in February 15, and then, we're here today now, January 2019, just to figure out the process, what happened along the way. That's what I'm curious to know.
My name's Jeff Greif. I was the permit reviewer for this application. The project did take an extended period of time to review. The detail of the operation sort of evolved over time, and so we had about 9 different updates and had to go through a couple of modeling exercises to make sure we were all squared away. Before we got to the end, we had a little bit of extra time as the original applicant decided to withdraw and left it with another applicant. That's probably the primary reason for the timing.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you. I'm in agreement, and if you're ready for a recommendation, I'm ready to make one.
Great.
I recommend that we deny the hearing request filed by Hilton Kelly on behalf of himself and Community in Power and Development Association Incorporated, adopt the executive director's response to comment, and issue new air quality permit number 124775 to Kansas City Southern Railway Company as recommended by the executive director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 2 is an application by the NRG Texas Power LLC for major amendment with renewal of TPDES permit number WQ00012410000. The parties have been notified that the commissioners will not take oral argument but may ask questions. The applicant is here if the commission has any questions.
So, Commissioner Lindley, in this case, the sole hearing requester Mr. Peltz has sold the property that might have given rise to a personal justiciable interest. So there's no basis for a hearing, and if you agree, I'm prepared to entertain a motion.
I would agree. I move that we deny the hearing request of Glenn Peltz, and we grant the major amendment with renewal to NRG Texas Power LLC for TPDES permit number WQ00012410000 as recommended in the draft permit prepared by the executive director, and adopt the ED's amended response to comments.
The The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is consideration of whether to affirm, modify, or set aside the emergency order renewing the appointment of the temporary manager for the Walnut Bend water system. The ED should speak first as the movement, followed by the respondents who I believe are not here. There are presently no hearing requesters, and OGC recommends a 5-minute time limit for each party's presentation.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. My name is Isaac Ta, and I'm an attorney with the Litigation Division representing the Executive Director. With me today is Alex Latham of the Water Supply Division. Item 3 is a proposed order affirming the emergency order renewal in the matter of Sylvia Holt, aka Sil Holt, and David Holt, doing business as Walnut Bend Water System, issued by the Executive Director on November 28, 2018. The utility experienced an extended system-wide water outage from Thursday, May 24th, 2018 to Thursday, May 31st, 2018. During the 7 days that the utility's customers were without water service, the respondents never attempted to restore the provision of water service, or provide an alternative source of water for the customers. Rather, the respondents left that responsibility to others. Specifically, the TCEQ provided 3 pallets of bottled water to the utility's customers the day the water outage began on May 24th, and provided potable showers on May 26th. On May 30th, Angelina County's Office of Emergency Management provided 1 pallet of bottled water to the utility's customers. On May 31st, a local individual conducted and paid for repairs to the system, which resulted in the restoration of water service to the utility's customers. The respondents abandoned the utility by discontinuing the operation and provision of water service, failed to provide an alternate source of water to its customers during an extended outage, and failed to adequately maintain the facilities, which resulted in extended outages, repeated service interruptions, and potential health hazards. Moreover, necessary repairs were required at the utility to ensure continuous and adequate water service. On June 1st, 2018, the interim executive director issued an emergency order appointing Mr. Joshua Colbert as temporary manager for the utility to ensure continued operation and service to its customers. The order was affirmed by the Commission on August 3rd, 2018. On November 28th, 2018, the executive director renewed the emergency order and reappointed Mr. Colbert as temporary manager for the utility. The system is currently providing continuous and adequate water service to the customers, and no complaints of a water outage have been received since Mr. Colbert was appointed as temporary manager. The executive director respectfully requests you affirm the November 28th, 2018 emergency order renewal. We are available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Commissioner, any questions for staff?
No questions.
There's no one signed in to speak on this matter. I don't believe the Holts are here, so Mr. McWhirter.
OPIC recommends affirming the ED's emergency order renewing the appointment of Mr. Colbert as the temporary manager of the Walnut Bend Water System water utility.
Thank you, and I agree with that. I want to thank Mr. Colbert for his service. I think it's appropriate that we affirm the order, and we'll entertain a motion.
I agree. I move that we affirm the Executive Director's emergency order reappointing Joshua Colbert as the temporary manager for the Walnut Bend Water System and issue the proposed order.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 4 is the consideration of an administrative order for the Humar Chemicals proposed state Superfund site, which includes the description of the selected remedial action, the listing of the site on the State Registry of Superfund sites, and a determination of responsible parties. The ED is the moving party and should present the matter, followed by any interested persons, and finally OPIC. OGC recommends limiting the parties to 5 minutes for presentations. One party has signed in and is available to, doesn't wish to speak, but is available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel. On behalf of the Executive Director, I am Theda Strickler with the Litigation Division. With me are Terry Andrews and Monica Harris of the Remediation Division. Item number 4 is an administrative order to conduct remedial activities for the Humar Chemical State Superfund site, located near Palacios in Matagorda County. As part of the Superfund process, the TCEQ has completed its investigation of the site. The soil at the site is contaminated with semi-volatile organic compounds, and the groundwater is contaminated with semi-volatile and volatile organic compounds and metals. After the appropriate notice and comment period, the Executive Director selected an on- and off-site plume management zone with limited in situ chemical oxidation treatment as the groundwater remedy for the site, and excavation and disposal of off-site soils as the soil remedy for the site. The groundwater will be periodically sampled to ensure that the plume remains stable and will not expand beyond the plume management zone. Excavated soil will be properly disposed of off-site. Potentially responsible parties were given the opportunity to fund or conduct remedial activities. However, no good faith offers were received. Therefore, there are no agreeing respondents to the order. The order names 7 responsible parties. The Executive Director respectfully recommends issuing this administrative order for remedial activities at the Humar Chemical State Superfund site pursuant to Chapter 361 of the Texas Health and Safety Code. We are available to answer any questions you may have regarding this matter.
Thank you. Any questions?
No questions this time.
Mr. McWhorter?
OPIC recommends approval of the order for the Humar Chemicals proposed state Superfund site as recommended by the Executive Director.
Thank you. Any questions or comments at this point?
No, you know, she said it best. This is a process. It's a long process, so appreciate all the work that's already gone into it, and look forward to seeing it get off their list of things to do. But I'm ready to make a motion if you're ready.
I am. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I move that we adopt the proposed administrative order as recommended by the Executive Director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Next are items 5 and 6, which will be taken up together. They are the consideration for approval to publish and solicit comment on 2 draft total maximum daily loads and their corresponding implementation plans for indicative bacteria in Lavaca River above tidal and Rocky Creek at the Lavaca River Basin. The Executive Director's staff is here to present the item.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel. For the record, I am Chris Loft with the Total Maximum Daily Load Program in the Office of Water. With me today are Sarah Cates with the TMDL program and Bob Rush with the Environmental Law Division. Today, the Executive Director is respectfully requesting the release of public comment of 2 total maximum daily loads and an implementation plan for indicator bacteria in the Lavaca River above tidal and Rocky Creek. The TMDLs cover 2 assessment units and 2 stream segments within Calhoun, DeWitt, Fayette, Gonzales, Jackson, Lavaca, and Victoria counties. A stakeholder group was formed with balanced representation of all interested parties and was tasked with providing input on the TMDL and making decisions regarding implementation of the TMDL. The success of these projects is due to the collaborative effort of the individuals and organizations that put in the time to develop these documents to improve water quality in their communities. The Executive Director respectfully requests the Commissioner's approval to publish the total and maximum daily loads and implementation plan for public comment. Approval is also requested to make non-substantive changes and clerical corrections before providing these documents for public notice. Thank you, and we're available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, and I appreciate your note about the collaborative process, and I'm grateful to our stakeholders for being involved in this. It really makes for a better end result, and it's key to finding the appropriate management for these particular segments. I don't have any questions, just that comment. Commissioner Lindley?
No questions.
Mr. McWhorter?
OPIC recommends the commission approve for publication 2 draft total maximum daily loads and the draft implementation plan for indicator bacteria in Lavaca River above tidal and Rocky Creek of the Lavaca River Basin as recommended by the executive director.
And I agree with that. I think we're ready to subject this proposed TMDLs and draft I-plan to public review and comment, and I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I move that we approve for publication and solicitation of comment on 2 draft total maximum daily loads and the corresponding implementation plan for indicator bacteria in Lavaca River above tidal and Rocky Creek of the Lavaca River Basin in Calhoun, DeWitt, Fayette, Gonzales, Jackson, Lavaca, and Victoria counties as recommended by the executive director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 7 is the consideration for adoption of 1 total maximum daily load for indicator bacteria in Sycamore Creek of the Trinity River. The executive director's staff is here to present this item.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel. For the record, I am Chris Loft with the Total and Maximum Daily Load Program in the Office of Water. With me today are Danya Grunman with the TMDL program and Bob Rush in the Environmental Law Division. Today, the Executive Director is respectfully requesting consideration to adopt 1 total and maximum daily load for indicator bacteria in Sycamore Creek and the incorporation of this watershed's implementation efforts into the Greater Trinity River Bacteria Implementation Plan, which was approved by the Commission in December of 2013. The TMDL covers 1 assessment unit and 1 stream segment in Tarrant County. The development of this TMDL benefited from an active public participation effort by the Coordination Committee for the Greater Trinity River Implementation Plan, facilitated by the North Central Texas Council of Governments. The success of this project is due to the collaborative effort of the individuals and organizations that put in the time to develop these documents to improve water quality in their community. The Executive Director respectfully requests the adoption of the total and maximum daily load and permission to make non-substantive changes and clerical corrections. Thank you, and we're available to answer any questions you may have.
So of course, the same thanks and praise of our stakeholders in the last item applies here as well. So thanks to the Sycamore Creek stakeholders and to staff for preparing this. And this one's actually ready for adoption. Mr. McWhirter, what do you think?
OPIC recommends adoption of 1 total maximum daily load for indicator bacteria in Sycamore Creek of the Trinity River Basin as recommended by the executive director.
Thank you. Commissioner Lindley, your thoughts?
I completely agree. Appreciate all the work and all the stakeholder involvement and all of our responsiveness to the stakeholders on this one. So I'm ready to make a motion.
Go ahead.
Okay. I move that we adopt the total maximum daily load for indicator bacteria in Sycamore Creek of the Trinity River Basin as recommended by the executive director and adopt the executive director's proposed order.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 8 is the consideration of adoption of the renewal with amendments of TPDES Small Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System General Permit Number TXR 040000. The Executive Director's staff is here to present the item. There are 2 commenters who have signed in and are available to answer any questions.
Good morning, Commissioners, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel. On behalf of the Executive Director, I am Rebecca Villalba with the Water Quality Division. Here with me are Hannah Nielsen with the Water Quality Division and Bob Rush with the Environmental Law Division. Staff requests adoption of the renewal with amendment of the Texas Pollutant Discharge Elimination System General Permit Number TXR 040,000, known as the Phase 2 or the Small Municipal Separate Storm Sewer Systems MS4 General Permit. This general permit authorizes the discharges of stormwater from small MS4s located in urbanized areas statewide, and also certain non-stormwater discharges into surface water in the state. The renewal with amendment will replace the current permit, which expired on December 13th, 2018, and is currently administratively continued. Public notice on the draft permit and public meeting were published in 14 newspapers across the state and in the Texas Register in August of 2018. A public meeting was held on September 24th, and the 30-day comment period ended on that same day. A total of 33 combined comments were received, and a response was developed, which is included in the backup material before you today. Staff respectfully recommends adoption of this general permit and the response to comment. Additionally, staff requests authorization to make non-substantive changes or revisions to comply with the Texas Register requirements. Thank you. We're available to answer any questions.
So I do have at least one question. I understand that there are about 600 operators covered by this general permit, and they'll all at some point have to come in for a renewal under this new permit. And I'm wondering what the schedule or timing of that looks like, and how y'all are going to handle the workload.
Yes, you are correct. The permit, once it's effective, existing operators will have 180 days or 6 months to submit an application with the stormwater management program. It goes through extensive technical review, and then at that time, they go through also a 30-day public notice, opportunity for a public meeting, and then before it gets approved. So they have basically 6 months from the effective date to apply.
And the review includes a review of brand-new stormwater management plans, or are they amended stormwater management plans?
Yes, each MS4 will develop their stormwater management program to comply with the permit requirements. The permit didn't have that many drastic changes or new changes, significant changes, so the MS4s will revise their current stormwater management program, submit that, we'll review it to make sure it's in compliance with the general permit requirements.
So it sounds like it's not insignificant. You're going to have a pretty good batch of these, and I'm wondering how you look for resources to process the.
Yes, it is a significant impact on resources, and we have already made plans to address that, just as we did last time. We obtained additional resources within a temporary period to review those stormwater management programs.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Lindley.
No other questions. That's what I was going to ask anyway. So,
Mr. McWhorter?
OPIC recommends adoption of the renewal with amendment of the small municipal separate storm sewer system general permit as recommended by the executive director.
Thank you. And I think that's appropriate as well, and would entertain a motion.
I move that we adopt the renewal with amendments of the Texas Pollutant Discharge Elimination System General Permit Number TX040000.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you.
A point of clarification on that. Did you mean TPDS permit number TXR 040000?
Yes.
You think we may have misread
Yeah.
that?
I think we may have misread that.
Why not just for belt and suspenders, we reread the motion?
Great. Happy to. I move that we adopt the renewal with amendments of Texas Pollutant Discharge Elimination System General Permit Number TXR 040000.
It's a lot of zeros to count. The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Great.
We have our next item here.
Item number 9, consideration of the adoption of the renewal with amendments of the Harris County On-Site General Permit Number TXG 530000. The Executive Director's staff is here to present the item.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel. On behalf of the Executive Director, I'm Laurie Fleet with the Water Quality Division. With me today is Kathy Humphreys from the Environmental Law Division. Staff requests adoption of a renewal with amendment of TPDES General Permit Number TXG 530000, which authorizes the discharge of wastewater from on-site treatment systems connected to single-family residences located in Harris County, Texas. The renewal with amendment will replace the current permit, which expires on January 30th, 2019. Public notice of the draft permit was published in the Houston Chronicle and in the Texas Register in August 2018. The public comment period ended on October 1st, 2018. One minor public comment was received and a response was developed, which is included in your backup material before you today. Staff recommends adoption of this general permit and the response to comment. Additionally, staff request authorization to make non-substantive revisions to comply with Texas Register requirements. We're available for any questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Lindley, any questions?
Oh, just one or two quick questions. So how long has this general permit been around in existence?
I believe it was initially issued in 2000, 2001, perhaps.
Okay. And I know that currently there aren't any facilities authorized under this permit. How many have there ever been?
None.
Okay. Just wanted to double check that. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Apparently Harris County anticipates that there could be people that would want to avail themselves of the general permit at some point.
Correct.
We're just imagining.
We're statutorily required to issue this general permit, so we're complying with that statutory requirement.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. McWhirter.
OPIC recommends adoption of the renewal with amendment of the Harris County on-site general permit as recommended by the Executive Director.
Thank you. I agree. I think that's appropriate. I do want to thank Harris County for their help in developing this general permit. And with that,
Ready for a motion?
for a motion.
I move that we adopt the renewal with amendments to the Harris County on-site general permit number TXG 530000 as recommended by the Executive Director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you.
We will now take up items 10 through 41, the enforcement docket. Executive Director staff is here to present these matters. We have several individuals signed in who have indicated that they do not, or I'm sorry, we have that they do not wish to speak, and their presence will be noted for the record. On item 17, we also have the respondent's representative who has requested to address the commission.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. For the record, my name is Melissa Cordell from the Enforcement Division, and with me today are Brian Sinclair, also of the Enforcement Division, and Gitanjali Yadav and Janice Hernandez of the Litigation Division representing the Executive Director. Pending before you are items 10 through 41. The total assessed administrative penalties are $689,940, with $27,904 deferred, $237,681 applied towards supplemental environmental projects, and $424,355 to the general revenue. We respectfully request approval of these items and are available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. I don't have any questions at this time. Commissioner Lindley?
I don't have any questions either.
Let's hear from Mr. Stewart. This is on item 17. Good morning. If you'll just make sure you've got a light on your microphone and state your name and affiliation for the record, and we'll give you 3 minutes.
Thank you. Bob Stewart, representing Formosa Plastics. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel, good morning. Just 3 minutes of brief comment. First is just to introduce Rick Crabtree, who's the Vice President and General Manager.
Good morning.
He and Matt Brogger, who's the Environmental Manager, came up from Point Comfort today, in case you have any questions. But I just want to emphasize Formosa's commitment to addressing plastics in the environment. Just today, there was announced a new nonprofit of about 30 companies that over the next 5 years are going to contribute $1.5 billion to minimize, manage, and prevent plastics in our environment. So it's something that Formosa is very dedicated to, as are these other companies. And on the local level, Formosa has been out there cleaning up a lot of, not only plastics, but a lot of trash from who knows where, even though they don't have the legal responsibility to do that. And, you know, these pellets that they do clean up can come from railroad cars and trucks that cross the causeway, independent transportation people, that these trucks and trains are supposed to be empty, but the pellets come out, and those are not Formosa's responsibility, and other sources. But Formosa has taken a lot of steps on site to control any spillage of pellets, a lot of new technology to make sure they don't spill, a lot of new technology to clean up pellets that do spill. They have 16 full-time employees at the this is a big complex, but they have 16 employees who go around and clean up pellets. And so I just want to emphasize that. We're in agreement with the order and appreciate the time to speak. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're available for any questions, obviously.
Thank you. I don't have any questions at this time.
No
Commissioner
questions either. Thank you.
Lindley? Thank you. And no one else is signed in? Okay. Mr. McWhorter.
Thank you. My office reviewed these items, and we support issuance of the proposed orders. I do appreciate Formosa being here today and expressing the commitment on item 17. I mean, we did pay particular attention to that item, and are hopeful that situation will be continued to address. I think the technical requirements proposed in the proposed order are appropriate. I think the order was calculated consistently with our penalty policy, and I support issuance of that order and all of items 10 through 41.
And I came to the same conclusion. Thank you, Mr. McWhorter. Any questions from Mr. McWhorter or other comments?
No, appreciate the
observations?
comment. No, I'll make a motion.
Great, please do.
I move that we adopt items 10 through 41 as recommended by the executive director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 42 is the consideration for publication of and hearing on the proposed El Paso redesignation request and maintenance plan, state implementation plan revision for the 1-hour ozone national ambient air quality standard. The executive director's staff is here to present the item.
Good morning.
Good morning. Commissioners, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. I'm Margaret Ernest with the Air Quality Division, and with me is Nicholas Park with the Environmental Law Division. Additional staff are also available to answer questions as needed. For your consideration today is the Executive Director's recommended El Paso area redesignation request and a maintenance plan SIP revision for the 1-hour ozone national ambient air quality standard. This SIP revision would include a request that the EPA redesignate the El Paso area to attainment for the 1-hour ozone standard and provide a maintenance plan that will ensure the area remains in attainment of the NAAQS through 2032. The SIP revision would also include a request that the EPA consider the plan as a second 10-year maintenance plan for the 1-hour ozone standard. Staff respectfully requests permission to publish and propose the SIP revision, solicit public comment, and hold a public meeting. Thank you for your consideration. We are available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Commissioner, any questions for staff?
No questions.
Mr. McWhorter.
OPIC recommends approval for publication of and hearing on the proposed El Paso redesignation request and maintenance plan, state implementation plan revision for the 1-hour ozone NAAQS as recommended by the executive director.
Yeah, and I agree. This proposal is similar, of course, to ones we've recently looked at for Houston, Galveston, Brazoria, Beaumont, Port Arthur, DFW, and again, as we've discussed in prior agendas, following the D.C. Circuit's opinion in the South Coast Air Quality Management District versus EPA case, it's important that we provide certainty as to our attainment status. So I do think it's right that we go ahead with this proposal, again, for the El Paso area. So I'm ready to move forward unless you have any other questions or concerns.
I agree. I move that we approve the publication of and hearing on the proposed El Paso redesignation request and maintenance plan, state implementation plan revision for the 1-hour ozone national ambient air quality standard as recommended by the executive director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 43 is the public comment session. We do not have anyone signed in to speak at this time. So that takes us to the end of the items posted for open session.
The time is 10:04. We are adjourned.